and everyone joining us via the live stream.
In this, the Year of Indigenous Language, we acknowledge the Ngunnawal people who are the traditional custodians of the land on which we are meeting. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And to all those who join us today, I extend this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in attendance this evening.
I'd like to introduce Katie Hannon, a long-term GovHacker. She's a board member since 2018, and by day she's a professional data manager as data librarian at CSIRO.
And this is Peter Marks. Peter was a GovHack competitor in 2015 and is now a volunteer writing stories for our website. You might recognise him from some ABC Radio National Technology spots. Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Katie. We have a few special guests to acknowledge this evening. Rebecca Feely, Assistant Commissioner, ATO Smarter Data Program, Data Science and Engineering, and Andrew Groth, Senior Vice President, Infosys and CEO, Australia, New Zealand, Infosys.
And now for the important bit. Down the aisle, no, just joking. Emergency exits are located at the side and rear of the venue. Bathrooms are located to the left of the large windows where the project showcase is down the corridor. We will be having he's feeling it dropping from the ceiling. We will be having a 30-minute intermission during the presentations at about 8 p.m.
And as this year is our 10th anniversary, we wanted to have a nod to our origins and to the people who've had the vision to create this hackathon. So here, with some insights about the first GovHack, is Gavin Tapp. Thanks, Gavin.
Thank you, Peter. Testing, is this on? Hello? It's nice to be here tonight. I've been told I've got 5 minutes to do a 10-minute talk, so here we go. I'll go as fast as I can while still trying to be slow enough to be intelligible. So, do you remember 10 years ago? Do you remember? Do we have slides? Here they are. Good, great. The iPhone 3 had come out. Twitter was good. Kevin Rudd was PM. We just had the 2020 summit and climate change was the greatest moral challenge of our time. Windows 7 came out replacing Vista. Mac users had Snow Leopard. The movie Avatar was released and Susan Boyle was singing I Dreamed a Dream. I was a webmaster but had no cape at Lifeline, mostly working as a tech person in isolation but occasionally going to a conference like Web Directions. Twitter was good. Can you imagine? I joined Twitter in March 2009, not as early as some. All the cool names with 3 or 4 characters were taken, but it was good. Flickr was good. Look, there are 1,105 photos in the search results for Web Directions South in 2008, all submitted by people who attended, not for money or for fame. There was an online culture amongst the web savvy of sharing, relating to open source, but also openly sharing how to make cool stuff on the web. Most of this stuff was so new and moving so fast you couldn't go to uni to learn it. You could probably get a book for it, but why bother when all the good info was being made available online and at conferences? Lots of people were starting to apply open licenses to their content, just like the open licenses that covered the software that they were using. Twitter was mostly used by nerds, and then a new subset of nerds emerged, the social media expert guru, or SMEG, and people would post if they were running late for something, or lots of photos of coffee, and there was a halfway decent chance that you'd met in person all the people in your timeline who were posting those things. It wasn't so inane when you knew the people in your timeline. And I mention this because it was one of the things that led me to become involved in GovHack. Turns page for dramatic effects. I heard about a get-together of the Canberra Social Media Club at a thing called Barcamp, which was in March 2009. This was an unconference where people gave short talks on whatever interested them, and it was really fascinating. These people came together and created their own conference from scratch. They'd start with a blank whiteboard and say, I want to talk about cats. I want to talk about high-tech satellite data transmission. It was really varied and wild. From memory, there were talks on test-driven development, deliberative democracy, how OpenStreetMap had helped with a disaster response by crowdsourcing geospatial data. I first met a fast-moving woman called Pia at this event. She was an advisor on tech to Senator Kate Lundy at the time. I also met other important people in the GovHack story, Alex Sadlier, Craig Tomler, who's here tonight, Ruth Ellison and others. And before the end of that year, I'd helped to organise the first TEDx Canberra with Steve Collins, Ruth, and others I met at Barcamp. It also meant I was in the right place to hear about GovHack when it was announced a few months later. Let me tell you a little of what I remember at the first GovHack. I remember showing up after work at about 6 p.m. thinking, I'll just take a look, and if it's boring enough for me, I'll just bail after an hour or so. I think I stayed until about 11, and then I went home and munched data in Excel and MySQL, and hacked at PHP and Google Map API until about 3 or 4 in the morning. Then I went back at 10 a.m. and spent the rest of the day there. And while there were some prizes, they were so far from people's minds, I can't remember what the first prize was. Maybe $500? Maybe a Meccano set robot? The event was held at ANU, I think in the computing labs, just a few hundred metres from where we are now. There were probably 120 or so people. Many were from Canberra or nearby areas, quite a few from Sydney, and at least one guy that came from Tasmania. And I remember asking him why he came and what his plans were. Where was he going to sleep? Who did he know in Canberra? Like, how did he come to be here? He had no plans to sleep, didn't know people before he got there, but he joined a team with some people to work on a project, and I think he grabbed a few hours of sleep under a table at some point. And I remember I learned a lot. I was a developer of some sort, but I was not really very good, certainly not a computer science grad at that quality. But like the Barcamp conference, GovHack had a strong sense of being created by the people who showed up to participate. Check out the lovely handcrafted signs and the Wi-Fi points taped to the walls. We weren't given award categories or challenges, but I remember hearing that tapping into Web 2.0 and Gov 2.0 ideas were where the most interest was. And that led many of us to create websites that asked for user-generated content or allowed users to display stuff on a map or upload photos of things. My project, Raterloo, tried to do a bit of all this and showed the location of public toilets on a Google map using the available ACT government dataset. They would also let people give a rating for the toilet, maybe upload a picture to show its condition or to help people find it. That could have gone so badly now I think about the web 10 years later. But there was user-generated content there, so it was ticking a lot of boxes. I think it was probably barely working by the end of the allowed 24 hours. It was terribly coded. I remember wrestling with the data set, trying to work out how to make it possible to search by postcode, how to get it to show on a map, and making the rating system work. But the point was, at the end of 24 hours, I'd make a working bit of software that provided a public service using openly available tools and a government data set. And I wasn't the only one. There were probably a dozen teams that made a project that weekend. In the final hours, exhausted, we all came together in the biggest room in the place, crashed out on the floor or wherever we could find a spot. And one after another, we each showed our projects. There were oohs and ahs when something cool was shown, and even more if it worked. And sympathetic support for people who showed things they'd tried out but failed to make work, and hearing where they hit trouble. Senator Kate Lundy was in the room, along with senior staff from a number of government agencies. I can't say this was the first time they'd seen software produced and demonstrated so quickly, but imagine the IT context in most government agencies at the time, where it was probably months between approving the development of a feature and seeing it tested, let alone used in production. As a group, at that first GovHack, we showed that the community was capable of doing things really quickly, and if we were given access to more government open data, it was likely we could do these things very quickly. A quick word on the winning project, Lobby Clue, which my friend Alex worked on, with that guy from Tasmania. It combined tender data with a list of lobbyists and presented a network map of which companies were winning contracts. This data had been connected before, but manually and painstakingly, and they showed that you could join these data sets together and make the whole thing much easier to make sense of, and see the links between these bits of data. You could see where a lobbyist had been successful in helping a company land government contracts. John Sheridan, who was a senior figure at Archival or Department of Finance at the time, depending on when you're counting it, if I remember correctly, he jokingly said at the end of the event that some people would be pretty unnerved by what we'd done here, that there would be people a bit afraid of what might be uncovered by joining together this type of data. There was this little sense of danger that he kind of injected in his closing remarks. A few weeks later, the Gov2 Task Force ran the Mashup Australia competition, which invited entries from across the country to do what we had done on that weekend, create websites using open data. Many of the GovHack entries were submitted in that competition and went on to win prizes. Then the Gov2 Task Force reached the end of its lifespan, handed in its report and sailed off into the sunset. Did it make an impression? What impact did it have? If you're interested in those questions, I have an event to plug at the end of this talk. And what happened next for GovHack? Well, for me, it was the start of a series of volunteer organising roles. I organised a few more annual TEDx Canberra events, became an organiser for Barcamp Canberra, went on to run more of those for a few years. In late March 2012, I got a call from that peer that I'd met, Pia Andrews, now Pia Andrews now, Pia War at the time, to see if I'd be interested in helping to run a GovHack event as part of Innovation Week in June, just a few months later. I joined a team of volunteers led by Pia who put that first independently organised GovHack together. This coincided with the launch of Data.gov.au. It happened across Canberra and Sydney locations, but to be honest, it's a bit of a blur. I remember meeting at Pia's house a few times and working these things out over a few weeks before the event. The Canberra location was the Inspire Centre at Uni of Canberra, which I think had just been opened, and they were kind enough to lock us in for the weekend and just asked that we take care of the place. It was incredibly generous of them. I also remember Pia, finally, taking a nap for a few hours on one of the couches on the mezzanine level, and while it had been a team effort, she'd carried an enormous load in getting that event together, dealing with sponsors, a Sydney venue that proved a bit tricky, coordinating with a number of Innovation Week events, prodding at government ministers and their advisors to take an interest. It was a massive effort from Pia and the team, but really established what led to us all being here tonight. Dramatic pause to turn page. It's the home stretch now. Over the years, the organiser team has shifted and changed and is distributed across the country. Jan and Jason and others keep the machine humming along with the help of a large number of talented volunteers. If you're looking for a worthwhile organisation to contribute to, I could recommend GovHack as a great cause to volunteer your time towards. Like the projects we've made, it can only be as good as you make it. Confession, do you know who had the idea for having 3-minute videos for each talk? It was this guy. Why did we do this? Oh, I'm surprised. I thought there was going to be things thrown at me. But by 2013, and taking place across lots of different venues, there was no way to see all the projects that people had worked on. There was also no way to easily access the stories from the teams who created the projects. I proposed the 3-minute video to try and help with this, and I think it's become a really important part of the event. Though I know it can be hard, and for new teams, it often catches them out when they realise they need more than 3 minutes to make the video, and uploading to YouTube at the last minute uses all the bandwidth. But what it means is, we now have short, digestible records of each of the projects, showing the team, hearing what they tried to do, the tools they used, the methods they applied. It's done in their voice. It shows the space they worked in and the team that they formed. And I think that's the most important thing about GovHack and why it's important that it continue. Each year we prove that people are able to come together and create projects that turn open data into something valuable. It gives each participant renewed sense that they can touch something of government and turn it into something their community can benefit from. And it allows people to learn from each other over an intensive period, things that they can apply in other parts of their life. Rather than the ramblings of a man that's 10 years older now, perhaps 10 years older than he was at the start of this talk, I hope you take from this a message. And it's that going out and being part of things is important. Getting involved in making things happen, being a volunteer or an organiser is important. Not just for GovHack, but for all the things that make our community better. At the first GovHack, we were asked to use our undiscovered geek powers for something good for the community. Our special secret computer geek powers that most of us didn't even know that we had. To use them for good. And I remind you all, here tonight, that this call also applies to each of you. Go forth and do good things, use open data, contribute to open source code, and make a good 3-minute video. And finally, if I can plug an upcoming event, next Saturday, Pia and I and others are organising an event to look at the Gov2 Task Force 10 years on. This will be a mix of presentations and then an unconference and creation of an action plan. We can't do this kind of thing without people like you showing up. And whether you can come or not, there's a survey you can fill in to tell us what your experience has been of digital government in the last 10 years. We want to know if you think things have changed for better or for worse. That's everything. Thank you. Congratulations to tonight's winners and to the GovHack team for putting on a great event this year, and good night.
Thanks, Gavin. And of course, Gavin is a very talented and skilled video maker himself, so perhaps that's why. But yeah, videos are a great idea. But GovHack is more than an open data competition. It's about connecting amazing people who do clever things with government data. GovHack demonstrates the value of data to governments and fosters an entrepreneurial ecosystem across Australia.
With 29 locations across Australia and New Zealand, 259 projects were entered, and with a total of 1,012 competitors. Let's hear more about New Zealand. Come on down, Mike Price.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome. This is Mike Price from New Zealand. And wow, what an event GovHack 2019 has been. I first took part in GovHack when it came to New Zealand in 2015, and I loved it. So I was back in 2016 and 2017, but in 2018, New Zealand took a gap year. Everyone needs a break, right? So what I like about GovHack, and this is what I notice at the events around New Zealand, is the diversity of the people who take part, from mums and dads with their children with no IT experience, to full-stack developers, data analysts, business analysts. The way the teams form on the Friday night and the Saturday morning is fascinating to watch. So I just thought I'd touch as well a little bit on the state of open data in New Zealand. New Zealand signed up to the International Open Data Charter in 2017, same year I think as Australia. The Charter supports and builds on the New Zealand Declaration on Open and Transparent Government and the supporting data information management principles. The Charter has 6 principles and supporting actions. Data should be open by default, timely and comprehensive, accessible and usable, comparable and interoperable, for improved governance and citizen engagement, for inclusive development and innovation. Applying these principles and actions will reinforce New Zealand's continued commitment to open data, ensure New Zealand remains internationally aligned, and provide government agencies with clearer principles and supporting actions for accelerating the release of open government data. So where does GovHack fit in? There's an extract from digital.gov.nz. The Open Government Data Programme is a cross-government programme that takes a collaborative approach to making government data available for reuse. Its work includes... Is that my time? No? Its work includes representing the New Zealand government in the international open data community, working with agencies to help release data, working with users to better understand their data needs, and raising awareness about open data so people know it's available for them to use. The last point is where GovHack really comes into play. GovHack has been recognised in New Zealand as the Open Data event. As I mentioned earlier, in 2018, New Zealand took a gap year from GovHack, but a group of passionate hackers got together in October, November last year and decided that GovHack should be brought back to New Zealand. I was given the task of liaising with the Australian GovHack management team, which in turn led me to becoming the GovHack New Zealand director, for which I am very honoured. So here we are. With the short time we had available to organise with our Aussie cousins, we found event hosts and sponsors. In New Zealand, we had national sponsors of Statistics New Zealand and Proaxium. Proaxium not only became a national sponsor, but also provided a resource to organise the event across the country. The Proaxium team have pitched in to make sure this GovHack New Zealand was a success, and it would not have been possible without the international sponsors, Infosys, AWS and Encycle, and we are very grateful for those sponsors. Our event hosts have been magnificent, and my thanks goes out to them. Again, without volunteers, as was just mentioned, the event would not happen. I would also like to thank the Aussie GovHack team for supporting the New Zealand team this year. Without you, we would have struggled. It's been a blast. Of course, the event would not be possible without you, the GovHackers. So thank you for taking part and making GovHack 2019 a success. I trust you have enjoyed it and will carry the spirit of GovHack with you wherever you go. Bring on 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike Price. Did everyone check out the fantastic demos of some of the hackers out near the big windows earlier, the bay windows? We'd like to thank those teams for bringing their gear out there and explaining their concepts, so let's give them a round of applause.
The statewide and local award categories provided great opportunity for our teams to put their local and state open data to work and get creative with challenges on their doorstep.
This year again, we welcome many newcomers to the competition and a myriad of clever hacks that demonstrate clearly to judges and observers alike the awesome and inventive nature of our Australian and New Zealand civic hacker community.
As you can see from the rolling slides behind me, GovHack would not be possible without the support of our international, national, state and local sponsors. Through your contributions, all of our events remain entirely free for everyone to attend and inclusive for all. We're ageless.
You are.
Try. Diverse and accessible.
And a massive heartfelt thank you to all of the volunteers who put in their time, energy and hearts into making each and every GovHack event awesome.
Now, I know you are desperately waiting to hear how your teams fared in the international and national competition. But first, let's hear from some special guests who are here to show their support for GovHack.
Let's welcome to the stage Andrew Groth, Senior Vice President, Infosys and CEO, Australia and New Zealand, to represent for the second year our passionate and enthusiastic lead international sponsor. Andrew.
I'd also like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands we're meeting on today and pay my respects to the Ngunnawal people. And I'd like to thank their elders, past and present, for looking after these lands for many, many generations. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Andrew Groth, and on behalf of myself and the amazing Infosys team that's sitting down there, we're absolutely thrilled to be here, and we're absolutely delighted to be the premier sponsor for GovHack, particularly in its 10th year. Gavin, thank you for that wonderful walk down memory lane 10 years ago. It goes like that, it's amazing. And Mike, we're really pleased that New Zealand was put back in it this year. It's an important part of our business, so really great. Yeah, we're very honoured, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this evening and give you a little bit of a perspective from our point of view about GovHack and what it means. But before I talk to you about that, I actually think it's better we hear from the most important people, which are the people that were involved in GovHack.
Hey, I'm Monique Gorrington. I'm a second-year software development student, and I'm an avid hackathon enthusiast. I'm really interested in data science and AI. So far, I've been working on some front-end, getting our React site up and running, and I've been working on some data normalization. Participating in an event like this is insanely beneficial for your career. The soft skills you learn, the tech skills you learn, trying new things, collaborating with people is all skills that will cross-credit to every aspect of your life.
I am Ashok Mysore. I'm a Vice President at Infosys. We are absolutely excited to be partnered with GovHack. Hackathons provide a great platform for diverse and brilliant minds to come together. It is about collaborative co-creation. It is about incubation of ideas. It is about a startup economy. And that's really what the GovHack provides.
My name's Jordan Wilson-Otto. I'm the Victorian State Director for GovHack. The partnership with Infosys has been really fantastic over the last couple of years. Generous sponsors like that lets us do the things that we love to do, right? It lets us run the events as we would love to run them. And what I love every year is talking to people about how they're approaching a problem, what they're going to come up with, what they're building, and then seeing what they've come up with and seeing what these new and exciting ideas.
My name's Stefano. I work as a web developer. I've never done any sort of hackathon before. It's been really good to flex my dev chops on something that I'm passionate about. It's been really invigorating, a little bit stressful as we kind of figure out, right, what are we doing here, what data are we using? And I think the advice I would give is be guided by your passions. You know, what you like and what inspires you.
Hi, so my name's David, and I have recently transitioned to web development or software development. We sort of got together in teams and discussed a little bit about what data was available and what we could potentially target. You know, started to create an app, started to formulate some of those ideas. And it's been great. I think the people have been really supportive. It's been nice to work with different and creative people from different walks of life. I've really enjoyed it so far.
My name is Gaurav Gopal. I look after a cluster of industry verticals across Infosys for Australia and New Zealand. Fundamental things that we're seeing in the utilities and energy industry is a strong shift towards renewables. We as Infosys One are very fundamentally committed to our causes on sustainability and climate change. GovHack is brilliantly placed to unlock the potential of data to help serve the community.
Hi, I'm Nicole Lynn and I'm from New Zealand. I'm currently working as a data scientist. My journey into technology actually kick-started from doing things like hackathons. I'm very passionate about machine learning and AI, but at the same time I'm also passionate about the social good benefits from using emerging technology. Honestly, the best thing about hackathons is the people that you meet, the people that you get to work with, and you just make a lot of lifelong friends.
Hi, I'm Misha from Infosys. What we're very excited about at Infosys is to be part of the Australian community. What we're also looking for is to meet new people, to meet new talent. I mean, traditionally, we've always had a lot of people from the computer science background in our company, but as we are shifting to solving our customers' problems, we also want more and more people who can think about these problems and start with these problems, and then help others who have the digital skills to think about what the right solutions are. So one of the key opportunities for us here is to meet a broad set of people and hopefully also see how we can work with them in the future.
My name is Raja Shah. I'm the Senior Vice President and Industry Head. The place is buzzing. It's full of energy. They have picked some very interesting challenges. So I'm very passionate about prospect of leveraging 5G. Melbourne was chosen by Infosys as a 5G innovation and living lab. We consider that as a platform where we can continue to bring like-minded people, experiment, and through experimentation learn, because Infosys is all about lifelong learning.
So we're delighted to be involved with GovHack, both in 2018 and again in 2019 as the premier sponsor. It's wonderful working with all the community that's been involved. We've seen young kids, we've seen old, we've even seen pets at GovHack in 2019. And it just aligns so well with our values and our strategy as we look for more great talent and really great ideas. And that engagement across business, across commercial, across government, and on all the citizens, this is really great. You're working on problems that are important to society, such as congestion and traffic, and conserving water is really fantastic. And we look forward to continuing our engagement with the whole of society. Thank you. So as you can see at Infosys, we love being involved with GovHack. We love being involved with the innovation and the collaboration that's going on this platform. You know, one of the things we do at Infosys, every year we do a survey in conjunction with the World Economic Forum. And a couple of years ago, we did that survey particularly looking at youth around the planet and how they were involved in the digital economy and what they thought about it. And this survey was done across a whole range of different countries, including Australia, the US, the UK, Germany, France, India, China, etc. And this survey was particularly aimed at 18 to 25-year-olds across all those countries. A couple of things that came out. First of all, it was trying to get an understanding of how youth engages in the global digital environment. And it actually said that the Australian youth were the most digitally aware, the most engaged with the digital economy across the planet. Now, that sounds pretty good. There's a but. However, the youth of Australia were actually the least interested in getting involved in digital careers, in getting behind the scenes of that technology and getting involved in the industry. So we have a massive, massive gap to address. And I think that GovHack is a wonderful vehicle for promoting that and starting to address that gap. And GovHack has done a great job in taking us down that pathway. You know, at Infosys, we have a really strong focus on learning. We've been in business for 38 years. Learning has always been a part of our DNA as an organisation. I was sitting at the airport in Sydney a few weeks ago, scanning through the AFR, and I was really pleased to come across an article that was called "Graduates Embrace Corporate University." And there was actually a picture of one of our grads in there, a guy called Billy. Billy's from Melbourne. And he talked about immersion. And over the last 18 months, we've hired 175 graduates across Australia and New Zealand to come into this industry. And by the way, my Canberra manager would kill me if I didn't mention this. We're recruiting right now, graduates and experience. And we've got 2 of our recruiting teams sitting right there. So let us know. But it was really great to see Billy in the AFR, in this article, talking about immersion. I talk to a lot of our graduates and I always ask them 2 questions. I ask them, how's your journey in Infosys going? How's that going for you? And how's your training going? What are you learning? And I always hear this thing about immersion, and they talk about real-world experience, getting accelerated learning, and most importantly, getting confidence. And I tell this story about this article because it's a really important partnership with the universities. We work with a number of universities around Australia, and taking the technology skills that they learn at university, we need to add on the skills around real-world experience. How do you get creative? How do you do teamwork? How do you get real experience and build that confidence? It's really important. And to address the skills gap, that's really important for our future. This youth is the future of our workforce, and technology is in everything that we're doing in Australia and around the globe. But we also need to address technology today. It's not just about building the workforce of the future, it's the technology we need today. As we see the rise of things like AI and automation, we also need to increase the human technology that's involved. We need to look for problem thinking. We need to look for people who can find the right problems, who can solve the right problems, who have the right creativity and confidence to address that. When I go around Australia and New Zealand and I talk to business leaders, the 2 things I hear most of all in our customers that they're looking for, one challenge is, how do we build agility at scale across large enterprises that we serve? How do we build that scale, digital agility across our organisation? And the second is, how do we address the digital skills gap? There was a survey done last year by the Australian Computer Society that said over the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to need 100,000 more IT workers in Australia. So we have a long way to go, but this sort of platform is important. And all organisations like ourselves, others in the industry, our large customers, they're all looking for skills. And as I mentioned at Infosys, we have this focus on learning, and GovHack is an important platform to do that. We need to take that further, and I believe what all of us need to do is we need to build a really compelling narrative about the opportunities in this industry, and that's businesses, it's government, and it's academia all coming together to drive that message. And I think we're starting to make a difference through programs such as GovHack. I'm going to tell you a little story. It's going to date myself. But I remember when I was at school, 17, 18 years old, I was first learned about computer programming. And we actually used to store the computer programs on cassette tapes. I suspect there's some people here that don't even know what cassette tapes are. And I remember going very distinctly, I went to a careers evening and I said, oh, I'm really interested in this stuff. I'm really interested in this computer programming. I like it. And they said to me, this is not for you. This is not an industry. You shouldn't get involved in this. Well, I'm here to tell you, 30 years later, I told you I'd date myself. 30 years later, I've had the most amazing career. I've worked throughout Australia, New Zealand, Asia, Europe. I've worked on amazing programs and projects making a difference to our customers and society. And there are so many varied roles in companies like ours and in our industry. So if I can leave you with one message, let's encourage our youth, let's encourage our community and our workers that there is amazing careers in this industry and we need to get people into it. We need to address this skill gap. And I'd like to thank GovHack for the amazing job that they've done to raise that profile. We need to continue to do that. And in closing, just 2 messages. One, I'd like to congratulate all the winners this evening and all those who have participated. And on behalf of Infosys, we wish you all the very best. And to GovHack, happy 10th birthday. We're delighted to be part of this and look forward to continuing our relationship. Thank you everyone for being here.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. If I can get you to cheer and roar for the winners of the 2019 International GovHack Awards. First, there's a lot of awards to get through this evening, so let us explain how this will work. For each award, we will invite the sponsor to come to the stage to present the award. We'll announce the name of the award category and a short description. We'll announce the teams who receive an honourable mention. No need to come to the stage. You will be able to collect your certificate from the registration desk during the break. Then we'll announce the runner-up. And we do want a representative from that team to come to the stage to receive your award and have a photograph taken. Finally, the award winner will be announced. If one team member can come up and collect the award, and we'll ask you to smile for a photo. So if you are a runner-up or winner and hear your project or team name, start making your way to the stage on that side. Please let the photographer know if you do not want your photo taken, as these may be used for future GovHack or sponsors, marketing and promotions. So, here we go. Our first award for the night is...
Bankruptcy, making it easier. It's sponsored by the Australian Financial Security Authority and presented by River Paul, Chief Economist and Statistician. Lovely to meet you. I've interviewed River. The challenge was to help AFSA make it easier for people to report their income and assets when they become bankrupt, and to answer questions like, who is more likely to earn higher incomes or have valuable assets? Specifically, can we use machine learning to predict this? The honourable mentions in this category go to Project Jack Jara V by Team Apex Solutions from Sydney, and we have a runner-up in this category, and it goes to Project Bankruptcy Prediction by Rookie Hackers from Melbourne. To accept the award, Minesh Kumar Chanawala. Unfortunately, Minesh couldn't be with us, so Jordan Wilson-Otto, the Victorian State Director, will collect the award on their behalf. Their project aims to make it easier for people to tell AFSA their income and assets when they become bankrupt. The winner in this category is a project Bankrupt or Not by Team Bankrupt or Not. There's a clear vision from Sydney. To accept their award, Callistus Tan. Their project validated AFSA insolvent debtors by comparing occupation, income and assets against data sets from the ATO and identifying debtors who may be hiding income or assets. Bankrupt or Not helps AFSA narrow down individuals that are worth further investigation. Thank you. And our thanks to River Paul, who we will hear from a little later on, and the Australian Financial Security Authority.
Our next award is ATO for Individuals, sponsored by the Australian Taxation Office. Presented by Rebecca Feely, Assistant Commissioner, ATO Smarter Data Program, Data Science and Engineering. Their challenge, using the ATO's extensive data on individuals that describes organised statistics on income, occupations, deductions, demographics and more. How can this information be used to help them inform individual taxpayers on how to optimise their occupational decisions? Can you predict what areas are going to be in high demand and are worth training in, or provide advice on how there is a shortage of a client's occupation in a given state or territory? The honourable mention. This award has 3 honourable mentions, and they go to Project Country by Team Experience SA from Adelaide, South Australia. Project Ginder, Tinder for Jobs by Team Ginder from Sydney, New South Wales. And our third honourable mention goes to Jobs and Growth by Team LMJD Proprietary Limited from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. And the runner-up. We have one runner-up in this category, and it goes to Project Emboyable by Team ANU Hacky Boys from Canberra, ACT. To accept their award, Chinmay Garg. Their project aims to help young adults better understand and visualise their career opportunities, providing tools to explore how geographic regions interact with jobs. And the winner in this category is Project Jobs and Growth by Team Jobs and Growth from Canberra, ACT. To accept their award, Akil Akbar. Welcome back, Akil, a GovHack winner for the past number of years. Jobs and Growth allows job seekers to make the most of their abilities. You can find out what jobs will be in demand, in what state, and how much they will pay, using AI predictions for up to 5 years into the future. This provides job seekers with a broad array of choices that they can make to balance different incentives and allows you to search and filter by the criteria that are relevant for you. With thanks to Rebecca Feely and the ATO who have been involved for the majority of the last 10 years.
The next award, Water from Source to Tap, sponsored by Central Highlands Water, who led a collaboration formed by the Water Industry Partnership. Presented by Jacqueline O'Neill, representing the water industry across Australia, and is General Manager, Customer and Community Victoria for the lead water agency, Central Highlands Water. Nice to meet you. The challenge, looking for ideas to engage upper primary and lower secondary school students with advantages for community learning in learning about the water cycle, source to tap, to understand where water comes from, the sources, the different types of water, drinking, recycled glasses of water, how and why it is treated, how we move it, and how we use it. The ideas should highlight why water is so important for our survival. Ideas should be fun, interactive, and educational. The engagement should be relevant to the Australian school curriculum, adaptable to water organisations and schools around Australia, and sustainable. We have one runner-up in this category, and it goes to Aquavo by Team Aquavo from Adelaide. Su Shiu is unable to be with us this evening, so Stravan Rayapu, the event host from Adelaide, will accept on their behalf. Thank you. Yeah. Aquavaro is a crowdfunding charitable organisation to purchase and reserve water for more water-efficient usage and environmental water. Through algorithmic trading, they will optimise the amount of water preserved and redistribute water to encourage water efficiency. And the winner in this category is AquWatch by Team USC Innovative Engineers from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. Oh, sorry, which one are you? You wait. Sorry. Okay, to accept the award, Sean Hayward. Their project, the device monitors and displays household water consumption, daily and weekly usage, as well as comparison with community average consumption. The display also incorporates a daily tip for the user dependent on predicted rainfall for the next 72 hours. It may, for example, inform you that since a substantial amount of rain is expected, it's all right to use tank water. It could also encourage holding off on washing the car. The primary aim of the device is to allow people to become aware of their water usage, identify spikes, and in turn be more efficient for their use. Thanks to Jackie O'Neill and the Water Industry Partnership. Stay with us, Jackie. We have another award for you. You want to do that?
The next award is for Innovative Ways to be Efficient with Water, sponsored by Central Highlands Water, leading the collaboration formed as the Water Industry Partnership, presented by Jacqueline O'Neill, representing the water industry across Australia. and is General Manager, Customer and Community Vic for the lead water agency, Central Highlands Water. Their challenge was looking for innovative ideas about water efficiency. Climate change means that we will have more unpredictable weather. Some of Australia is in drought and some areas have plenty of water. We want new, innovative and untapped ideas on how to be efficient with water use. These ideas could include how we use water, how we can save water, how we waste water, how everyone can make a difference in using water wisely, water rules and ideas on saving water for the future. We have one runner-up in this category, and it goes to Project Rainfall Splashing in Puddles by Team Ballarat Hackers from Ballarat, Victoria. To accept their award is on behalf of Robert Layton, will be Jordan Wilson Otto, the State Director for Victoria, and will accept for them. Their project is a board game in which you first start by moving around the board by rolling dice. As you go through the game, you collect rainfall in your reservoir while being careful not to use too much rain and running out. You also start building components of the water cycle, which is an element containing 5 components: a treatment facility, a house, the ocean, a cloud, and a hill that collects water into the reservoir. That sounds really cool. I would play that. I would definitely play that. And the winner in this category is Project Water Hacklings by Team Hacklings from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept their award, Tammy Watt. The project made a model of a playground the team think the council should build. It's a fun place for teaching children how we get water to our houses and things that affect this process positively and negatively. This playground is free and accessible to everyone. It's great for school excursions. They used Water New South Wales to learn about how water gets to our taps, dam levels so that lakes would mimic the actions of real lakes, Bureau of Meteorology rainfall calculations, Bureau of Meteorology rainfall calculate which lakes should be on or off, seed environment to learn what to teach our children about our environment. With thanks to Jackie O'Neill and her insight into creating this inaugural national collaboration across the water industry. There is an interview with Jackie on the GovHack website.
The next award, Australia at Sea. What is our future relationship with the ocean environment? Sponsored by CSIRO. It will be presented by Dr. Andre Zerger, Director of the Atlas of Living Australia. Andre, great to meet you. I interviewed him the other day. The challenge was our oceans are vital to the world's economy and provide services for all Australians, including food security, industry, tourism and well-being. With climate change creating environmental pressures like sea level rise, ocean acidification and threats to marine life, teams used one or more CSIRO datasets to connect all Australians to our oceans of the future. This award has one honourable mention, going to Project Buddy Up by Team Parachute 42 from Albany, Western Australia. We have one runner-up in this category, and it goes to Project Koala by Team Koala from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept the award, Dean Yu is unable to be here tonight, so John Young, State Director, will accept on their behalf. Where's John? Hey. The project Koala is an app that enables travellers to help the environment. Koala uses seed and CSIRO datasets to map where the native animals are in Australia. It presents information on different animals in profiles, just like on Tinder. Travellers, a bit of Tinder tonight. Travellers can swipe right to match their favourite animals that they want to visit. The app then shows the users the locations with the most sightings in recent years according to datasets. And the winner in this category is Project Wilkie by Team Wilkie from Peregrine Beach, Queensland. To accept the award, Max Diamond. This project was a whale awareness sound relay project, bringing whale sounds to landlubbers and the broader community, increasing awareness of the environment by platform for deeper engagement. Thanks to Dr. Andre Zerger. Stay with us, Andre. You're on again, as we have a second award for you to present.
This award is for Thrive or Survive. How can we adapt for the future? Sponsored by CSIRO, presented by Dr. Andre Zerger, Director, Atlas Living Australia. CSIRO asked the big question in this challenge: what will Australia look like in 2050? What kind of environment will we need and want? Using one or more CSIRO datasets, teams had to showcase how we will be available to build resilience for people and the natural and built environments. So this award has 2 honourable mentions. First of these going to Ripple Effect by Team Ripple Effect from Melbourne, Victoria. The second of these, Project Luminaire by Team Digital Thinks from Adelaide, SA. We have one runner-up in this category, and it goes to Project Watergy by Team Octagon.io from Sydney, New South Wales, to accept their event Palang Uneven. Their project, Octagon.io, proposes an application which enables individuals to access and visualise key data identifying their sustainable impact, how others are performing across the country, and suggestions on what more they could do to contribute. By having access to such a vast array of data, they envision Australia to develop self-sustaining and environmentally conscious communities by 2050. And the winner in this category is Project Green Roots by Team Mentally Friendly from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept their award, Thomas Vincent. Their project, Green Roots vision, is to increase citizens' engagement with their environment. Along with preparing citizens for urban heat, we believe that Australians can also tackle congestion, reduce obesity in young Australians, and improve the overall well-being of all citizens. With more and more Australians walking along shaded pathways, road congestion will be reduced and the overall fitness of our population will be improved. Also, there will be improved well-being from exercise and being in nature. With thanks to Dr. Andre Zerger and the CSIRO team for your long-term support.
The next award is Training AI Models to Deliver Better Human Outcomes. It's sponsored by the Department of Customer Service and presented by Narelle Grayson, Director, Data, New South Wales Data Analytics Centre. In this AI challenge, we want to see how different incentive systems lead to better or worse human outcomes. We want to examine clearly distinguishable incentive systems and qualify the effect of these approaches on citizens. Teams must choose any open data set and apply their models to an outcome for citizens. Then define any 2 different incentive systems such as economic, human or environmental measures. This award has 3 honourable mentions. 3. First one, Project Smart Maps by Team Be Frank from Canberra ACT. Second honourable mention, Project Nikki by Exposito and Expose team from Adelaide, South Australia. Third honourable mention, Jobs and Growth by Team Growth and Jobs from Canberra ACT. And the runner-up is Project T-Chat by Team Tiny Happy People Hacking from Canberra ACT. To accept the award, Craig Tholmer, and Craig has also been a previous organiser as well as a multi-year GovHack winner. Their project is a real-time location-based chat platform for public transport users called T-Chat. And the winner in this category is Project Are You Really Going to Drive Tomorrow by Team Rufus from Accounting from Adelaide, South Australia. To accept their award, Jessie Bugden. Their project, Are You Really Going to Drive Tomorrow?, combines a geospatial analysis of commute options with a statistical model to support an AI recommender for social nudge and incentive-based behavioural change. The return on investment has been maximised by targeting the highest value times for road users to select alternatives ahead of time. This return on investment can be measured on economic terms, but also by using the New South Wales Human Services Outcome Framework to realise health, social and community benefits. Thank you, Narelle Grayson and the Department of Customer Service on this, their first year of involvement with GovHack as a national sponsor. Thank you.
Our next award is for Australia's Future Employment, sponsored by the Department of Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business, presented by Bruce Cunningham, the Assistant Secretary of the Economics Branch. Thanks, Bruce. Their challenge. Teams had the option to choose one of the following questions. How can recent and future changes in the labour market help prepare young people for job opportunities? What can we learn from case studies of regional labour markets? For example, what does rapid change in the industries or occupations within a region tell us about the needs of employers and workers in other regions? This award has 2 honourable mentions, going to Project Incubate Australia by Team Switch Case from Sydney, New South Wales. Project Jobbit by Team Hack Vision from Melbourne, Victoria. The runner-up in the category goes to Project Jobs and Growth by Team Growth and Jobs from Canberra, ACT. To accept their award, Akil Akbar. Welcome back, Akil. Their project uses machine learning and AI to predict changes in the job market at a national and regional level. Jobs and Growth allows job seekers to make the most of their abilities. You can find out what jobs will be in demand in what state and how much they will pay using AI predictions for up to 5 years in the future. This provides job seekers with a broad array of choices that they can make to balance different incentives. And the winner in this category is Project Future Jobs Finder by Team B and C from Canberra, ACT. To accept their award, Bryce Cronin, another previous GovHack winner. Their project, Our Future Jobs Finder app, aims to help prepare young people for future careers by showing them which occupations will be in demand in the future. Allow people to understand the educational pathways to be qualified for their desired occupation, assist in getting young people in contact with industry professionals so that they can ask questions, help young people to discover more about their preferred occupations. Thank you, Bruce, but please stay with us as we have your second award now to present.
This award is Helping Startups and New Small Businesses in Australia, and it's sponsored by the Department of Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business. Bruce Cunningham is the Assistant Secretary to the Economics Branch. The challenge, again, teams had the option to choose one of the following. What trends in business activity can help encourage self-employment through NEIS? What types of NEIS businesses are being started and are successful? And how can we encourage self-employment through greater participation in NEIS for cohorts currently underrepresented? This award has 1 honourable mention going to Australian Indue Story by Team Cam Bam Bar Jam from Ballarat, Victoria. The runner-up in this category goes to Project Startlink by Team Buzzy Top Dogs. To accept the award, Matt Pressland. Matt is unable to join us tonight, so Damien Frappel, the Tasmanian State Director, will collect on his behalf. And the winner in this category is Project Incube 8, Digit 8, Australia, by Team Switchcase from Sydney, New South Wales. to accept the award, Swati Karnwalaka. Their project, Our Portal, uses multiple data sources with predictive analysis and insights in a user-friendly manner to any aspiring startup founder. All they need to do is select the broad business category or industry for their startups. The portal will give insights and provide predictions so the startup founder can make informed choices. Thank you, Bruce Cunningham and the Department of Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business. Your insights and commitment as a sponsor is hugely appreciated.
The next award is for Leveraging Innovation Precincts to Drive Economic Prosperity, sponsored by the Department of Industry, Innovation and Science, presented by KL Drinkwater, General Manager, Data Management and Analytics Branch. Their challenge, how we might build on interaction between businesses and research institutions in Australian innovation precincts to boost business capacity, growth and job creation. Innovation precincts are place-based innovation ecosystems. They usually have a widely understood geographic extent, a shared sense of identity among those involved, and a strong set of formal and informal networks and partnerships between people and businesses, researchers, education, training organisations and government. This award has 3 honourable mentions, going to Project Nikki by Team Exposito and Expose team from Adelaide, South Australia, Project STEM Trade by Team N&M from Brisbane, Queensland, and Project BizViz by Team Bright Minds from Albany, Western Australia. The runner-up in this category goes to Project Incubate Australia by Team Switchcase from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept their award, Swati Kanwalkar. Their project, Our Portal, uses multiple data sources from government to provide predictive and analytics and insights in a user-friendly manner to any aspiring startup founder. All they need to do is select the broad business category industry for their startup. The portal will give insights and provide predictions so the startup founder can make informed choices. And the winner in this category is Project Understanding Innovation Precincts with Biz Validator by Team Jokar from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept their award, Patarini Vongthongsri. Biz Validator makes it easy for businesses to find the information they need through a government portal. The portal generates a rich data set of user behaviour that can be used to evaluate the performance of government grant programs and innovation precincts. The portal then asks for feedback as to what businesses care about their location decisions and reports areas that receive the most interest. It generates a rich data set of user behaviour that can be used to evaluate the performance of government grant programs and innovation precincts. With thanks to KL for being here tonight, to the greater DIIS and to Honourable Karen Andrews, Minister for Industry, Innovation and Science, who was unable to be with us tonight.
The next award is Helping Social Impact Startups, small organisations, to tell their story. It's sponsored by the Department of Social Services, presented by Gillian Moses, Branch Manager, Policy Analysis and Reporting. The challenge, small and informal community interest groups who have formed to solve local problems need data to know if their activities are making a difference and to redesign programs. How can we help these groups tell their story through data so they can seek support, political, financial and on the ground, by showing how their programs are working and decide where to focus next? We're seeking to help small and informal community groups who have formed to support families or children to make their lives better. We have no honourable mentions this time, but we do have 2 runners-up in this category. Project NetAid by Team NetAid from Adelaide, South Australia. And I'm just having a technical problem with our running sheet. Up, here we go. To accept the award, Nitish Bajaj. Yeah. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name. No, I'm the event host. Oh, okay, right, yeah. Okay, sorry. Where am I up to? NetAid. Yeah, NetAid is a data-driven social impact platform that provides stakeholders access to government data in the form of a user-friendly dashboard. The dashboard contains various data visualizations that can be filtered and manipulated by the user. The next runner-up is Project Social Inclusion Platform by Team Social Hero from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept the award, Vinoth Ralph. Their project provides social entrepreneurs the tools to take their ideas to concept, helping them with contextual data to understand demand, validate their ideas against market conditions, help them connect with the support and infrastructure they require, and providing the quantitative and qualitative data to continually measure their outcomes. And the winner in this category is Project Youth Justice Maze by Team 514 from Canberra, ACT. To accept the award, yay! Morgan Bostock. Link data in Victoria to evidence-based messages about youth justice to build empathy for young people caught in the justice system's maze and think about what we want the system to be doing instead. The project explores Victoria's data to see if we can align what we know about these young people and what they've been through to evidence-based messages. We used ABS shapefiles and linked youth offending data from Crime Statistics Agency, and we used Tableau to create diagrams and maps. Gillian Moses and her team at the Department of Social Services and their social impact focus, we'd like to thank you for this, their second year with GovHack as a national sponsor.
The next award is for TM Link Data Discovery, sponsored by IP Australia, presented by Min Kim, Data Analyst. Their challenge: TM Link is a newly available trademark database developed in collaboration between IP Australia, Swinburne University and Melbourne University. TM Link includes administrative data from jurisdictions across the world linked at the application level by advanced neural network algorithms. We are encouraging hackers to explore this new dataset and consider what creative visualizations, innovative insights and/or opportunities to further enrich the data they might imagine. This award has one honourable mention, going to Project Australian Indu Story by Team Cam Bam Bajam from Ballarat, Victoria. And the runner-up in this category is Trademark Like Yours by Team Neat Emoji, SSH, crying emoji, money bags emoji, laptop emoji. From Canberra ACT. To accept their award, Adam Davis. Next year, I want more teams putting in team names with emojis.
It upsets the printers.
Their project is an information portal that uses TM Link data enriched with other ABS datasets to help find insights into future industries, saturated markets and trademark law. And the winner in this category is Project Visual Link by Team Visual Link from Adelaide, South Australia. To accept their award, Shubh Gupta. Their project, Visual Link, provides a high-level overview of the data from TM Link, deeper insights by filing office, applicant country, and NICE class. Future forecast trends. Using the provided TM Link database, we have taken a sample of the year of 2014, created a data model as per the schema provided in the data dictionary, created visuals using this dataset, taking various approaches, forecast data values based on the data available. With thanks to Min Kim and everyone at IP Australia, they have been an incredible support to us over the years and have also commercialised one project, IP Nova.
The next award, the Queensland Open API Award, sponsored by the Queensland Government, presented by Teresa Harding, who's the Director of Open Data Office, Queensland Government. Thanks, Teresa. The challenge was to create a project using one or more of Queensland's open APIs. Application programming interfaces are the building blocks of the app economy. APIs exist in many industries, including environment, science, transportation, health, finance, employment, and more. Honourable mentions, there's two. The first one is Project ENLB, the Future of AG, by Team AgTech 2050 from Peregian Beach in Queensland. Peregian. Second honourable mention, Insight Without Sight by Team Insight Without Sight from Fremantle, Western Australia. And the runner-up in this category is Project CAS29, Cyclist Augmentation System 2029, also known as Project 477, by Team Distance Cyclists from Canberra ACT. To accept the award, Theo Anton. Their project is Concept App implementing historical road crash data, weather data, and machine vision to provide a summary of crash events and alerts as you cycle along your route. They envisage, as you ride your bike, your mobile device running a client application periodically checks with the server. The server receives your location and the current time of date filters historical pedestrian and cyclist crash data with a geographical radius and time window for that location. The server pushes this back to the client along with the weather sourced from the Bureau of Meteorology and draws on smart object detection from your device to provide a contextually relevant voice prompt about potential risks. And the winner is Project Next Crops by Team Arvis from Melbourne, Victoria. To accept the award, Jikan Wang and yet another previous GovHack winner tonight. Their project, Next Crops, is a cloud-based native Android app developed by Team Arvis. It helps farmers in Australia to make big decisions on the next generation crops to grow on their farmland. They've crafted a cloud application that utilises a bunch of data sets such as agriculture, Victoria Soft Soils API, irrigation, soil chemistry, land suitability, and many more. Thank you, Teresa, but please wait as we have another of your awards to present.
Waterwise, sponsored by the Queensland Government, presented by Teresa Harding, Director, Open Data Office, Queensland Government. Their challenge: how can we protect and preserve our water resources? Queensland has roughly 68 large dams, 261 small surface water storages, and 179 large river systems. Over 60% of Queensland is currently in drought. The Great Artesian Basin covers 1.7 million square kilometres and holds 64 cubic kilolitres. Water demand is increasing with population growth, changes in economic growth and pollution. This award has one honourable mention, going to Project Next Crops by Team Arvis from Melbourne, Victoria. And the runner-up in this category is Project Ripple Effect by Team Ripple Effect from Melbourne, Victoria. To accept their award, Styliana Saris. Their project is a native iOS mobile app to play an interactive story of an everyday encounter, where you have to make simple choices that lead to different outcomes, such as a lush forest or dried out crops. At the end of the story, they show users how simple choices that you wouldn't associate with water affect the supply and distribution of water. And the winner in this category is Project Aquatch by Team USC Innovative Engineers from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. To accept their award, Sean Haywood. This device monitors and displays water consumption. It includes both household daily and weekly usage, as well as a comparison with community average consumption. The display incorporates a daily tip for the user dependent on predicted rainfall for the next 72 hours. It may, for example, inform you that since a substantial amount of rain is expected, it's all right to use your tank water. It could also encourage holding off on washing the car or when rain is not expected to check and fix leaking taps. The primary aim of this device is to allow people to become aware of their water usage, identify spikes in consumption, and in turn be more water efficient. With huge thanks to Teresa and her team in Queensland Government, GovHack and Open Data is a policy item in their digital-first digital strategy, and we are proud to help them achieve their goals. Now, we are going to have some well-earned refreshments. Whilst this is happening, we'd love to get some state shots. So can we ask the state directors to wrangle the first lot of teams from the ACT, New South Wales, NT, Queensland, SA, to make your way over to the GovHack media wall to get your team photos. So if you are from ACT, New South Wales, NT, Queensland or SA, go to the media wall for photos and we'll get the rest of you in the next break. Thank you.
Be back at 8:30.
It's a super exciting time here in Australia and New Zealand because there's so much focus on better citizen engagement from government departments.
Our AWS public sector team is unique in that we're focused on the impact that we're making to our customers' mission.
So my team's focus is to really help public sector organisations make a change for their citizens. So things like serverless, things like big data, things like IoT, what used to take 6 months takes a second.
We're constantly challenging and questioning, is there a better way of doing this so that we can improve on how we achieve outcomes in government for citizens. We're invested in helping them navigate these business changes so that they're successful from start to finish.
We affect the lives of our fellow citizens across Australia and New Zealand. We want to help them do it better, faster and more efficiently.
A catalyst. It creates a reaction. It creates change faster. CSIRO is Australia's innovation catalyst. We bring Australia's innovation ecosystem together to transform Australia's big challenges into global opportunities. We collaborate with our partners across industry, government, research and community to make it all happen. We seek and seize what's next on the horizon. We create solutions through science. CSIRO is Australia's national science agency. We wake up each morning because we're making tomorrow and the future better. Better for people, for business, and for the planet. We believe change is good, but transformation is better. And innovation is where it starts. The CSIRO, Australia's innovation catalyst. Your innovation catalyst.
We drink it, have a bath or shower, wash the dishes, the dog, and the car. We clean our clothes, brush our teeth, water the garden, and the next day, we do it all again. Sometimes it comes from the sky with a spit, often pours, and in some places, it doesn't rain at all. But at home, it comes from a tap. In some countries, that'd be amazing. What we do is provide the infrastructure and people to bring you clean water every day. Day and night we keep things moving. Hard-working locals who understand the importance of their role. So next time you turn on the tap, have a think. Use what you need, and we'll continue to keep our most precious commodity moving for today and the next generation.
Hey, I'm Monique Gorrington. I'm a second year software development student and I'm an avid hackathon enthusiast. I'm really interested in data science and AI. So far I've been working on some front end, getting our React site up and running, and I've been working on some data normalization. Participating in an event like this is insanely beneficial for your career. The soft skills you learn, the tech skills you learn, trying new things, collaborating with people is all skills that will cross-credit to every aspect of your life.
I am Ashok Mysore. I'm a Vice President at Infosys. We are absolutely excited to be partnered with GovHack. Hackathons provide a great platform for diverse and brilliant minds to come together. It is about collaborative co-creation. It is about incubation of ideas. It is about a startup economy. And that's really what the GovHack provides.
My name's Jordan Wilson-Otto. I'm the Victorian State Director for GovHack. The partnership with Infosys has been really fantastic over the last couple of years. Generous sponsors like that lets us do the things that we love to do, right? It lets us run the events as we would love to run them. And what I love every year is talking to people about how they're approaching a problem, what they're going to come up with, what they're building, and then seeing what they've come up with and seeing what's these new and exciting ideas.
My name's Stefano. I work as a web developer. I've never done any sort of hackathon before. It's been really good to flex my dev chops and on something that I'm passionate about. It's been really invigorating, a little bit stressful as we kind of figure out, right, what are we doing here, what data are we using? And I think the advice I would give is be guided by your passions. You know, what you like and what inspires you.
Hi, so my name's David, and I have recently transitioned to web development, or software development. We sort of got together in teams and discussed a little bit about what data was available and what we could potentially target. You know, started to create an app, started to formulate some of those ideas. And it's been great. I think the people have been really supportive. It's been nice to work with different and creative people from different walks of life. I've really enjoyed it so far.
My name is Gaurav Gopal. I look after a cluster of industry verticals across Infosys for Australia and New Zealand. Fundamental things that we're seeing in the utilities and energy industry is a strong shift towards renewables. We as Infosys One are very fundamentally committed to our causes on sustainability and climate change. GovHack is brilliantly placed to unlock the potential of data to help serve the community.
Hi, I'm Nicole Lynn and I'm from New Zealand. I'm currently working as a data scientist. My journey into technology actually kick-started from doing things like hackathons. I'm very passionate about machine learning and AI, but at the same time I'm also passionate about the social good benefits from using emerging technology. Honestly, the best thing about hackathons is the people that you meet, the people that you get to work with, and you just make a lot of lifelong friends.
Hi, I'm Misha from Infosys. What we're very excited about at Infosys is to be part of the Australian community. What we're also looking for is to meet new people, to meet new talent. I mean, traditionally, we've always had a lot of people from the computer science background in our company, but as we are shifting to solving our customers' problems, we also want more and more people who can think about these problems and start with these problems, and then help others who have the digital skills to think about what the right solutions are. So one of the key opportunities for us here is to meet a broad set of people and hopefully also see how we can work with them in the future.
My name is Raja Shah. I'm the Senior Vice President and Industry Head. The place is buzzing. It's full of energy. They have picked some very interesting challenges. So I'm very passionate about prospect of leveraging 5G. Melbourne was chosen by Infosys as a 5G innovation and living lab. We consider that as a platform where we can continue to bring like-minded people, experiment, and through experimentation learn, because Infosys is all about lifelong learning.
So we're delighted to be involved with GovHack, both in 2018 and again in 2019 as the premier sponsor. It's wonderful working with all the community that's been involved. We've seen young kids, we've seen old, we've even seen pets at GovHack in 2019. And it just aligns so well with our values and our strategy as we look for more great talent and really great ideas. And that engagement across business, across commercial, across government, and on all the citizens, this is really great. You're working on problems that are important for society, such as congestion and traffic, and conserving water is really fantastic. And we look forward to continuing our engagement with the whole of society.
It's a super exciting time here in Australia and New Zealand because there's so much focus on better citizen engagement from government departments.
Our AWS public sector team is unique in that we're focused on the impact that we're making to our customers' mission.
So my team's focus is to really help public sector organisations make a change for their citizens. So things like serverless, things like big data, things like IoT, what used to take 6 months takes a second.
We're constantly challenging and questioning, is there a better way of doing this so that we can improve on how we achieve outcomes in government for citizens. We're invested in helping them navigate these business changes so that they're successful from start to finish.
We affect the lives of our fellow citizens across Australia and New Zealand. We want to help them do it better, faster and more efficiently.
A catalyst. It creates a reaction. It creates change faster. CSIRO is Australia's innovation catalyst. We bring Australia's innovation ecosystem together to transform Australia's big challenges into global opportunities. We collaborate with our partners across industry, government, research and community to make it all happen. We seek and seize what's next on the horizon. We create solutions through science. CSIRO is Australia's national science agency. We wake up each morning because we're making tomorrow and the future better. Better for people, for business, and for the planet. We believe change is good, but transformation is better, and innovation is where it starts. The CSIRO, Australia's innovation catalyst. Your innovation catalyst.
Water. Yep, we drink it, have a bath or shower, wash the dishes, the dog and the car. We clean our clothes, brush our teeth, water the garden, and the next day we do it all again. Sometimes it comes from the sky with a spit, often pours, and in some places it doesn't rain at all. But at home it comes from a tap. In some countries, that'd be amazing. What we do is provide the infrastructure and people to bring you clean water every day. Day and night we keep things moving. Hard-working locals who understand the importance of their role. So next time you turn on the tap, have a think. Use what you need, and we'll continue to keep our most precious commodity moving for today and the next generation.
Hey, I'm Monique Gorrington. I'm a second year software development student and I'm an avid hackathon enthusiast. I'm really interested in data science and AI. So far I've been working on some front end, getting our React site up and running, and I've been working on some data normalization. Participating in an event like this is insanely beneficial for your career. The soft skills you learn, the tech skills you learn, trying new things, collaborating with people is all skills that will cross-credit to every aspect of life.
I'm Ashok Mysore. I'm a Vice President at Infosys. We are absolutely excited to be partnered with GovHack. Hackathons provide a great platform for diverse and brilliant minds to come together. It is about collaborative co-creation. It is about incubation of ideas. It is about a startup economy. And that's really what the GovHack provides.
My name's Jordan Wilson-Otto. I'm the Victorian State Director for GovHack. The partnership with Infosys has been really fantastic over the last couple of years. Generous sponsors like that lets us do the things that we love to do, right? It lets us run the events as we would like to run them. And what I love every year is talking to people about how they're approaching a problem, what they're going to come up with, what they're building, and then seeing what they've come up with and seeing what these new and exciting ideas.
My name's Stefano. I work as a web developer. I've never done any sort of hackathon before. It's been really good to flex my dev chops and on something that I'm passionate about. It's been really invigorating and a little bit stressful as we kind of figure out, right, what are we doing here? What data are we using? I think the advice I would give is be guided by your passions. You know, you like and what inspires you.
Hi, so my name's David, and I have recently transitioned to web development, to software development. We sort of got together in teams and discussed a little bit about what data was available and what we could potentially target. You know, started to create an app, started to formulate some of those ideas. And it's been great. I think the people have been really supportive. It's been nice to work with different and creative people from different walks of life. I've really enjoyed it so far.
My name is Gaurav Gopal. I look after a cluster of industry verticals across Infosys for Australia and New Zealand. Fundamental things that we're seeing in the utilities and energy industry is a strong shift towards renewables. We as Infosys One are very fundamentally committed to our causes on sustainability and climate change. GovHack is brilliantly placed to unlock the potential of data to help.
Hi, I'm Nicole Lynn and I'm from New Zealand. I'm currently working as a data scientist. My journey into technology actually kickstarted from doing things like hackathons. I'm very passionate about machine learning and AI, but at the same time I'm also passionate about the social good benefits from using emerging technology. Honestly, the best thing about hackathons is the people that you meet, the people that you get to work with, and you just make a lot of lifelong friends.
Hi, I'm Misha from Infosys. What we're very excited about at Infosys is to be part of the Australian community. What we're also looking for is to meet new people, to meet new talent. I mean, traditionally, we've always had a lot of people from the computer science background in our company, but as we are shifting to solving our customers' problems, we also want more and more people who can think about these problems and start with these problems, and then help others who have the digital skills to think about what the right solutions are. So one of the key opportunities for us here is to meet a broad set of people and hopefully also see how we can work with them in the future.
My name is Rajan Shah. I'm the Senior Vice President and Industry Head. The place is buzzing. It's full of energy. They have picked some very interesting challenges. So I'm very passionate about prospect of leveraging 5G. Melbourne was chosen by Infosys as a 5G innovation and living lab. We consider that as a platform where we can continue to bring like-minded people, experiment, and through experimentation learn, because Infosys is all about lifelong learning.
So we're delighted to be involved with GovHack, both in 2018 and again in 2019 as the premier sponsor. It's wonderful working with all the community that's been involved. We've seen young kids, we've seen old, we've even seen pets at GovHack in 2019. And it just aligns so well with our values and our strategy as we look for more great talent and really great ideas. And that engagement across business, across commercial, across government, and all the citizens, this is really great. We're working on problems that are important to society, such as congestion and traffic, and conserving water is really fantastic. And we look forward to continuing our engagement with the whole of society.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could take your seats again, we'll get started. Can you take your seats, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats.
He's good, I say. River, lovely to meet you. Yes, you're up.
I feel like I know you.
I know. Well, we had a great chat on the phone. Turn that off.
In the morning, staring at myself, counting up the years. Standing in the doorway, moments before with my hopes and fears. If the whole world stops, will I still stand strong? When the fire burns, the smoke inside my lungs. All we are is the pain we overcome. It's the work that's never done. It's the game that rages on. All we are.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to part two. To get started, we'd like to introduce River from AFSA. They've been sponsoring GovHack now for 3 years and have become our sponsor buddy, helping to walk other agencies through the GovHack experience to make sure they make the most of the involvement. So it's the Australian Financial Security Authority, and I'd like to introduce River Paul, economist and chief statistician, to say a few words about why GovHack a sponsor's perspective. Thanks, River.
Thanks, Peter. So, as Peter said, we've been sponsoring GovHack now very proudly for actually 4 years. And the reason is to meet people like you. So what we've found is that there is no profile of a GovHacker. You're all ages with huge amounts of skills and experience, and that's a really powerful thing for us to be able to tap into. What we've found over the years is that as a sponsor, you need to put a lot of effort in yourselves. So in the first year, we weren't quite sure what we wanted, but we thought you might solve all our problems. We learnt that you actually needed some guidance from us, and that we needed to think really hard about what data we were going to release and what we wanted out of this. And so we've gone on a really exciting journey with GovHack to do that. The sorts of skills we've tapped into aren't just data related, although they have been fantastic. So one of the really exciting things that we've had happen is that we've started to see ideas on how we should interact with the community coming out through GovHack. So over a couple of years, we noticed a lot of people said, you need to be on social media, you support bankrupts, that's how people get information these days. And so we've really worked hard on that behind the scenes, and that's not really data related for us, that's more around designing a strategy and thinking about how we can manage that. And so now we have some social media accounts and we're building them over time. So last week we were tweeting about busting bankruptcy myths, and we wouldn't have been doing that without GovHack. Last year we were so impressed with our winners though that we actually brought them on board. So GovHack's about developing a proof of concept, showing us an idea. And that's why we love the 3-minute videos, because we actually form a judging panel that isn't just the data people from my team. That's from everywhere around the agency to think about what would be good for us to roll out for real for the community. So we actually brought them on deck and they built out their machine learning model for us in just 2 weeks. That probably sounds like a long time, but in government, that's huge. And we actually still use that model today. One of the things that GovHack's also unexpectedly shown us is that we can tap into the skills in our own agency, because we're a national agency, so we actually have people around Australia. So every year we ask for volunteers to come meet GovHack people at the connection events, at the weekend, to monitor Slack. And it's amazing the kinds of talent that we've unpacked from that. So now we run a lot of groups to keep the GovHack spirit alive internally throughout the year. We also get amazing support as sponsors from the lovely Jan, who is available all year round, because GovHack is 1 weekend of the year for most people, but it's year round for sponsors and for Jan. And in fact, we're already up to planning 2020. So one of the really exciting things as sponsors that we had happen this year was GovHack has started to contact us months in advance to tell us some ideas that they had, some data that they wanted to see put out there. And that's really at the heart of why we support GovHacks. Because what that means for an agency like us is that we think about data every day and communicate with the community every day while we plan GovHack year in, year out. Because we're already up to GovHack 2020, so we hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thanks again, River. Now we move to the international competition, the sponsors and their awards. The next award is Increased Participation in Plastic Free July, sponsored by N-Cycle Consulting, presented by Jan Bryson, representing N-Cycle Consulting, who cannot be with us tonight. The challenge: people are increasingly aware of the problems with plastics and want to do their bit, but how do we increase engagement in Plastic Free July? Using data and IT-based solutions, how can we increase both geographical uptake and reach a wider demographic, particularly more men? Honourable mentions, there are 2. First one is Project Newman by Team DimSim from Melbourne, Victoria. Second is Project Challenge by Team Kronos from Mackay, Queensland. And the runner-up in this category is You Are Small Trash by Team B&C from Canberra, ACT. To accept the award, Bryce Cronin. Their project is an augmented reality experience for mobile phones running Android that helps you to visualise the amount of rubbish you'll generate in your lifetime. And the winner in this category is Project Plysoplastic from Team Hoziko Cat from Adelaide, South Australia. To accept the award, Donna Frida Safira. Their project, in Plastic-Free July, we would like to solve the problems with the Plito Plastic mobile application. The app helps users to try and sustain the eco-lifestyle, make eco-lifestyle more convenient by reducing the gap between green businesses, consumers and policymakers. It increases the ability of organisations to get green customer behavioural data and better data collection systems. And it creates a bigger community of eco and zero waste living. Anne-Marie Bremer and her team, who this year helped to recognise and implement our own waste management practices, we'd like to thank, and thanks for this sponsorship.
The next award is for Public Transport for the Future, sponsored by Amazon Web Services, presented by James Kingsmill, Solutions Architect, AWS. Their challenge: how might we combine data with modern technologies such as AI, ML, IoT, analytics, or natural language interfaces to better our public transport services? Outcomes could take the form of new commuter experiences, reduced environmental impact, or helping plan for the future. This award has 3 honourable mentions, going to Project Greenway, making public transport more comfortable, by Team Microland from Sydney, New South Wales. Project Scoot Over by Team 421 from Darwin, Northern Territory. Project Movely by Team Movely from Wellington, New Zealand. And the runner-up in this category is Project Trainmate by Team The Codefather from Sydney, New South Wales. To accept their award, Alberto Camilo. Their project is a fully functioning mobile application for both Android and iOS that improves the life of commuters and people using the public transport system every day. Trainmate will find your route and allow you to select your destination and show a personal ETA for your trip. And the winner in this category is Project Are You Really Gonna Drive Tomorrow? By Team Rufus from Accounting, from Adelaide, SA. To accept their award, Jessie Bugden. Their project, Are You Really Gonna Drive Tomorrow? Combines a geospatial analysis of commute options with a statistical model to support an AI recommender for social nudge and incentive-based behavioural change. The return on investment has been maximised by targeting the highest value times for road users to select alternatives ahead of time. This return on investment can be measured on economic terms, but also by using the New South Wales Human Services Outcomes Framework to realise health, social and community benefits. With thanks to James for being here tonight, and to Helen and David, the Amazon Web Services team, and for the many hosting credits they supplied their team over the weekend. We have been working with them over a number of years, and a massive #hat tip to their sterling support of GovHack.
The next award is Optimise Energy and Water Resource Planning. It's sponsored by Infosys. Now to present is Andrew Groth, but I'm not sure if he's still here, is he? Oh, he is, yep. SVP Infosys, CEO Australia and New Zealand. The challenge: using energy or water utilisation data provides solutions to optimise the supply and planning. Consider the current and historic utilisation trends, possibility of wastage and changes in pattern due to external factors. This award has 3 honourable mentions, going to Project Ripple Effect by Team Ripple Effect from Melbourne, Project Waterwise by Team Cicada from Adelaide, South Australia, Project The Power Spot by Team Noosa Power from, now how was the pronunciation? Peregian Beach, Queensland. And the runner-up is Project Next Crops by Team Arvis from Melbourne, Victoria. To accept the award, Jiken Wang. Their project helps farmers in Australia to make big decisions on the next generation crops to grow on their farmland. Infused with Google Vision AI machine learning models, their solution is able to give farmers the knowledge to better understand the soil of their land, what to grow to achieve a balance among ecological environment, water usage, and land sustainability. And the winner in this category is AquaWatch by Team USC Innovative Engineers from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. To accept the award, Sean Hayward. Their project monitors and displays water consumption. It includes both household daily and weekly usage, as well as consumption with community average consumption. The display also incorporates a daily tip for the user dependent on predicted rainfall for the next 72 hours. It may, for example, inform you that since a substantial amount of rain is expected, it's all right to use your tank water. It could also encourage holding off on washing the car. What? Or when rain is not expected, to check and fix leaking taps. Thank you, Andrew. We have one more award, don't go away, for you to present.
And this award is for reducing CBD traffic congestion, sponsored by Infosys, presented by Andrew Groth, SVP Infosys, CEO Australia and New Zealand. Their challenge: to use available data on parking meters, traffic information, traffic cameras and any other open data to arrive at innovative ways of smart traffic control or parking predictions. This award has 3 honourable mentions, going to Project Park Me Mate by Team Hungry Hackers from Melbourne, Victoria, Project Transport Hacks by Team Anonymous from Adelaide, SA, Project E-Park by Team iWing from Hobart, Tasmania. And the runner-up in this category is Are You Really Gonna Drive Tomorrow? By Team Rufus from Accounting. To accept their award, Jessie Bugden. Their project combines a geospatial analysis of commute options with a statistical model to support an AI recommender for social nudge and incentive-based behavioural change. Wow. And the winner in this category is Project Movely by Team Movely from Wellington, New Zealand! Woo! To accept their award is Joseph Zachariah Sim. Their project, Movely, is a simple interactive tool that allows people to visualise the traffic in real time so that users can plan their journey. We engage design thinking principles to create an aesthetic, simple yet powerful tool to comprehend the current traffic situation at a glance. It can be overwhelming for people who aren't familiar with the area to figure out how much traffic to expect in detail. Thank you, Andrew, and to Ashok, Paul, Eden, Nandini, Aksanka and Himesh, along with many local staff in each state. Their engagement across Australia and New Zealand has been incredible again for the 2nd year as a leading sponsor.
That concludes all the sponsored international awards. Now we move to the GovHack suite of awards. These are awards that we provide for those who have evoked the spirit of our values. For these awards, we'd like to invite Jason Weigel to the stage to present each of these. Jason. Firstly, the People's Choice, sponsored by GovHack Australia. The challenge. This year, we again handed this judging over to you, the participants, to select what you believe was the best entries. Voting for the People's Choice was open for 3 weeks following the competition weekend, where you could vote on the entries that you believe deserved recognition. There are 3 components to this challenge: how early you entered your challenge into the checkpoints, the results from your peers evaluating your concepts, and your active evaluation of other concepts. The teams in this category were balanced across all three of these criteria, doing significant judging of other concepts, entering their challenges early, and receiving high praise from their peers. There are two honourable mentions going to Project Q Wild by Team Big Sunday from Brisbane, Queensland. Project Ripple Effect by Team Ripple Effect from Melbourne, Victoria. And the winner in this category is Project Automate by Team Pinecone from Taradale, New Zealand. To accept the award, Floyd Watson. Their project is designed to increase carpooling and inform people about other available forms of transportation. The app also keeps track of the user's carbon footprint and the benefits of having used the app. The future of the app includes providing a broader range of public transport methods, including bike tracks and walking paths.
The next award is for the Best Youth Team, sponsored by GovHack Australia. The challenge. So this year, we would like to acknowledge our youth competitors from around Australia, teams that were made of at least 75% of participants under 18 years old and using the same criteria as the People's Choice were entered into this award. This award has two honourable mentions, going to Title Change by Team Therefore from Sunshine Coast, Queensland. Project Once Upon a Crime by Team Ellie and Lily from Mount Gambier, SA. And the winner in this category is Project H2O Hub by Team Robo Royals from Sunshine Coast, Queensland, and to accept their award, Mitchell Agnew. H2O Hub is an app/dashboard that tracks and monitors the use of water in your house by connecting Internet of Things connected sensors to outlets of water. And now, our government agencies are our reason for being. Without their data and their support, we would have no data to play with, no challenges to ponder and solve, and nothing innovative to create. We are GovHack, and we deeply appreciate all of our government agencies. We'd like you to stay on stage after collecting your certificates for a group photo afterwards.
The award for Best Government Participation by a federal government department, sponsored by GovHack Australia. The runner-up in this category is the Department of Social Services. To accept their award, Gillian Moses, Branch Manager, Policy Analysis and... that's where it says. The description of why. The Department of Social Services has been a national sponsor for their second year and really embraced the social impact value of what GovHack can bring in our Festival of Ideas. Stay up here for a photo. And the winner is the Department of Employment, Skills, Small and Family Business. To accept the award, Alfred Bashara and Bruce Cunningham. DESSFB have been a long-time sponsor, and each year their engagement surpasses the previous year. We'd like to extend a special thank you to Hao Min for all his attention and diligence, both within the department and all that GovHack can bring to the table.
The next award is for Best Government Participation, State or Territory Government, sponsored by GovHack Australia, and the winner in this category is TAFE Western Australia, specifically the campuses of Albany, Bunbury and Geraldton. To accept their award, Alison Coleman, Event Host Bunbury and TAFE Bunbury Lecturer and and Robin Jenkins, lecturer at TAFE Geraldton. This award is in recognition of their inclusion and adaptation of GovHack into their curriculum as a learning tool, as well as inspiration for their students.
The award for Best Government Participation by a Local Council, and the winner in this category is Liverpool City Council. To accept the award, Samantha Strawn is unable to join us tonight, so John Young, New South Wales State Director, will collect on Samantha's behalf. Where's John? Come on, John. Liverpool City Council took on being the role of event partner and even brought along their own certificates to the New South Wales State Awards. In fact, they were signed by the Mayor, written to each of the entrants, which I thought was fantastic. And now to our Spirit of GovHack Awards. So what are these awards? The Spirit of GovHack is the link between producing awesome and being awesome, making things and making things happen, developing something of value while valuing most the people with whom you have developed it. These people make GovHack, GovHack. It's as simple as that.
This award is for the Spirit of GovHack Award Australia. Before we announce this winner, we'd like to invite all of these stage winners to come up to the stage. We have Simon Lee from Canberra, Dean Nguyen from Sydney, Jasper Marshall from Alice Springs, Rayoma Ohira, Gold Coast, Jordan Hutchins, Mount Gambier, Shane Dalgleish, Hobart, Rod Unmack, Ballarat, Belinda Lysett, Geraldton, Western Australia. Please come on up to the stage. And the winner in this category is Jordan Hutchins from Mount Gambier. Jordan was a standout all weekend, showing the true spirit of GovHack. He noticed another team was stuck on the idea stage and spent time working with them in starting to refine their ideas. Further to this, Jordan, along with another team member, helped an adult node team with some questions around their project, spending time to ensure they understood the content and that their questions were answered. Jordan also helped team HACM in cleaning up their script. Jordan is an all-rounder, jumping in and assisting whenever necessary, a true Spirit of GovHack nominee. Jordan and all state winners, please stay on stage.
We'd like to announce the Spirit of GovHack Award for New Zealand. You'll have to help clap because they may not cheer very much. The Spirit of GovHack New Zealand was awards last weekend at the New Zealand Awards Night, so we'd like to welcome Aaron Cole from Auckland, New Zealand. When a team most needed, he supported people both with the hackathon side and the personal side of the challenge. We saw a nice uplift in morale and meaningful output. He is the person who has done a great amount of work, always organised with the group and got everyone back on track, so-called the core member. Aaron, stay on stage. We'll get an individual photo of you as well as the group one. Press on.
So this award is for the Spirit of GovHack Award International. Now, judging in this category was difficult due to the high standards set by Jordan and Aaron. Judging was de-identified in this category and judged by both national and international operations teams to get the best outcome. And the winner in this category is Jordan Hutchins from Mount Gambier. So this brings us to the end of all formalities. Congratulations to all teams who received honourable mentions and award placements, and thank you to everyone who has joined us here tonight or via our live stream to help celebrate the success of GovHack 2019. And now I would like to hand over to Jason. Sorry. Jason is the GovHack Australia Limited Chair, and he's going to take a look forward at GovHack in the coming years.
I have a closing speech here somewhere. Okay. Thank you very much to our two presenters. For Peter and Katie for presenting this evening. Thank you very much for taking on the great burden of presenting all these great awards this evening. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our sponsors, volunteers, mentors, judges, and the people that make GovHack, our hackers. Give yourselves all a round of applause. You've done a great job. I would like to acknowledge our special guests that are here this evening. Rebecca Feely, the Assistant Commissioner, ATO's Smarter Data Program for the Data Science and Engineering, and Andrew Groff, SVP Infosys and CEO Australia and New Zealand for Infosys. Thank you very much for being here this evening with us. 10 years. 10 years is a long time, especially in technology. In 2009, when we had the first GovHack was held here in Canberra, what else was happening at that time? In January 2009, Obama was sworn in as President of the United States of America. The World Digital Library was launched in April 2009 by UNESCO. The iPhone 3 was released in January 2009. In December 2009, astronomers discovered CJ1214b, the first known exoplanet on which water could exist. It's a center planet there. Neptune's on the right-hand side. Earth left if you're not sure. We also had some other great things that happened in tech. In 2009, Twitter became mainstream. Around that time, our Jan Bryson started on Twitter too.
So I finally made it onto Twitter. G'day.
Shortly followed by Matt Sangaya.
Wondering if it was a good idea to merge Facebook, Twitter, and Identica. It turns out it wasn't.
I guess they both follow things that are mainstream. In 2009, some of our hackers from this year weren't even born yet. Since then, we now have data.gov.au. It could even let you go back to the old website. No, not that old website, the old website. The older one? That one. data.australia.gov.au. This existed in 2009, however, it was essentially a stub. Since then, many more data portals around Australia and New Zealand have been developed. As we heard earlier in the night from Gavin, the first GovHack was held not far from here on the ANU campus. It started from a small group of interested individuals and has now grown into the largest international open data hackathon. GovHack spans every state and territory in Australia, is across New Zealand, and has some distributed participation from remote participants further abroad. Before going into the figures for this year, I would like to see how far back the participation of those here present stretches back. Can I ask all of those that are able to, can I get you to stand up, please? Everyone here, if you're able to, please stand up. Okay, while that's happening, we have some photos going on over here. Okay, so if the first time you participated in GovHack in any form, as a participant, sponsor, volunteer, or the many other types of participation that happened was during this year, can I ask you to take a seat? Congratulations. Thank you for joining us this year. If your first participation in was 2018, please take a seat. In 2017, please take a seat. In 2016, please take a seat. In 2015, please take a seat. 2014, please take a seat. No, 2013, please take a seat. For the 3 people that I see standing, before you leave this evening, please come and see me at the back of the stage. I have some GovHack swag for you. Let me continue though. If 2012 was, I also sat down in 2013. 2012, 2011, 2009, please take a seat. Thank you to Gavin and Craig for being here for all of our many, many years. This year we saw participation from over 1,400 people. This was made up over 1,000 hackers, over 200 volunteers, and over 1,000 people that were either sponsors, judges, or mentors. We saw participation in 31 venues across Australia and New Zealand. During the course of the weekend, hackers formed 241 teams to design, develop, and publish 259 separate ideas or proof of concepts. Before I proceed into a little bit more, can I get anyone that was a volunteer this year to come up on stage so we can show our appreciation of all our volunteers? I'm not sure if we can all be on the stage for this photo, but so we can get some people in the front off so we can have 2 layers. So please come up if you're a volunteer this year. We have a few of us. It takes a little bit of an army to organize so many people in this competition. Yeah, I may need 2 rows for everyone. Yeah, yes. Can I get some people in? Yes. Thank you, everyone. We have seen but a small handful of the great ideas and concepts that have been designed over the competition weekend here this evening. I would like to draw attention to a few of these projects, but many of the great ones. These projects that I'm drawing attention to were some of the ones that were exhibited out in our Meet the Makers section. There were some great projects. If you didn't get a chance to see them this evening, I strongly encourage you to go have a look at them on the website. That's not to say don't look at others, but these were some of the great ones. Wilkie was one of the projects out there that went on to win the Australia at Sea Award. It was great to see the data-driven physical computing project that could also be used to capture and generate even more data. So it wasn't just about using data, it could generate even more. It allowed people to engage with whales while they were migrating off the coast of Noosa in Queensland through the use of Internet of Things connected buoys that were connected to tablets and speakers on land. We also had Movely, which was a project from some of our New Zealand competitors. They did very well in the New Zealand National Awards and went on to pick up one of the top Infosys Awards awarded this evening. Their project was great at making use of open data using new technology to make predictions into the future to address the growing issues around traffic congestion. As many of you know, GovHack isn't just about developing websites, mobile applications, and other apps. It is about the creative use and reuse of open government data. We are a festival of ideas, after all. GovHack celebrates many different styles of projects that make use of this data. Examples of this include physical computing projects, art pieces, musical compositions, among many other projects and styles. A great example of this was one that I saw this year, which was a youth project from Mount Gambier that was one of our honourable mentions. Once Upon a Crime is a musical and video composition that explores the data of convict transportation to Australia in a creative way that can be used as a learning tool for young people. If you get a chance over the rest of the weekend, I encourage you to have a look at this excellent project. Over the course of 10 years, our logo has served us quite well. The logo was originally designed by Yi-Ying Liu, who went on to design the Twitter fail whale. The logo that Yi-Ying designed wasn't the logo that we have today, but was very similar. The logo was designed, was originally the negative image of what we have today. This was created in the following event. The one that we have today was created in the following GovHack. It inverts it so GovHack is made up, the pillars of GovHack are the people. However, our logo didn't always serve us well. It wasn't without its critics. The people in the pillar were primarily perceived as men, or as some have put it, toilet door men. We at GovHack aim to be inclusive and open to all, and we want anyone to feel like they can participate and belong to our community. The logo, for some, was a stopping point. This year, starting on the International Open Data Day in February, we initiated the first steps in making a change to our logo. We launched a logo design competition where people were able to design what they thought a new, inclusive GovHack logo should look like. During the competition, we received over 55 different entries from over 40 people. Tonight, we are joined by a number of the finalists from that competition this evening. Tonight, we unveil the new logo to all. The starting point on this design was developed by Tia Elmer and refined by Avais Khan. While, unfortunately, Tia and Avais were not able to be with us here this evening, I would like everyone to put their hands together when they see the logo and congratulate them on the hard work that they have done. I present the new GovHack logo. We move away from the logo with people in a government building to a logo that can have many great and wonderful meanings that we would like to draw attention to. These interpretations include, but not limited to, a representation of the many different data points that make up open data, our community of people, a global outlook, and a festival of many ideas. Over the next few years, you will see our branding changing from the old logo to our new logo, such as right here. Looking forward to the future, there are many great things that are happening in and around GovHack. For those of you in Canberra, or those of you looking for a reason to return next weekend, it might be a little bit warmer. There is the review of the 10 years of the Gov 2.0 task force that will be hosted here by Pierre Andrews. GovHack was an initiative of Gov 2.0 that was developed by John Alsop. For those of you that won't be here next weekend, you can always participate remotely. Gavin had the information on the screen earlier. If you don't have it, we'll make sure to share it around. In terms of leading GovHack into the future, we have both GovHack Australia Limited, of which I am the chair of, as well as Mike Price, who we heard from earlier this evening, and Messina Camworthy. Congratulations, New Zealand. Speaking specifically for GovHack Australia Limited, we, the board, those of you that are board members, can you wave your hands? There's one here, one at the back, one further over. We have a few of these people. But we're going to be growing in our size. Our AGM takes place tomorrow. We will be growing from 4 members to 7 members on our board. Those of us that were board members at the time, in February, met here to do strategic planning for what the future of GovHack looked like. We set out strategic goals and plans for the coming 3, 5, and 10 years. Where will GovHack be in 2029? Aspects of this have been shared throughout the year with our key stakeholders. Tonight, I will share it more widely with our greater GovHack community. Our purpose. We are a festival of ideas, using open government data to make our communities better places. We do this by providing access to data and a space to connect with government and organisations so that you can workshop ideas around community challenges and imagine or develop concepts to drive meaningful change. Our vision, GovHack in a box. GovHack is a packaged and a template that is a scalable model that will operate currently in Australia and New Zealand, but can be adapted and delivered into many other countries in association with GovHack Australia and GovHack New Zealand to facilitate open data literacy internationally. Our values. We are inclusive. We are for everyone. We are ageless, diverse, accessible, safe, and secure. We are free. All our events, especially for everyone, we want to make it so that everyone can participate. We want to have a hackers first ethos. We prioritize the need of our community and those that are participating. Regional. We want to drive GovHack into our regional communities to ensure that regional talent is participating and is encouraged to contribute. We are volunteer-driven. Passionate volunteers are the change makers that bring GovHack alive. You saw just a handful of them earlier this evening on stage. Transparency. Accountable, published communications, timely and accessible release of GovHack's own data. We generate a lot of data, but we would like to release this back to the community to reuse as well. Open access. We are an advocate of open data, open source, shareable and adaptable. And abide by the policies of fair, findable, accessible, interoperable and reusable. With our strategy set out over the next 3, 5 and 10 years, here's to another great 10 years. We hope that we'll see many faces back here in 2029. As I draw this to a close for this evening, I would like to get you to lock the date for the next GovHack competition into your calendar. We are moving slightly earlier in the year next year to avoid a conflict with Father's Day, which would fall on the same weekend. Next year, GovHack will be held on the weekend of August 14, 15 and 16. I would like to invite those of you that are interested in sponsoring or hosting an event that are here this evening to come and have a chat to Jan this evening before you leave. Jan, where are you? She's up the back at Ops this evening at the moment. She's normally down the front. She's waving like crazy. The prospectus will be available by the end of this month, going into next year. This draws a close to our official proceedings for GovHack 2019. By the media wall, we would like to ask to get group photos from our New Zealand, Tasmanian, Victorian and Western Australian teams and directors before you depart. While the food and the drink service is now at a close, we will be heading to the Highball Express on 82 Algina Street in Canberra for the after party. It'll take us a little while to pack up, but we'll join you there shortly. As you take your leave, on the stage I will leave a video taken from the first GovHack where former Senator Kate Lundy was interviewing the organisers and participants. There are a few familiar faces in the video, as well as some examples of GovHack projects of times gone past. Thank you very much. GovHack 2019 is now finished.
So we're here at GovHack, and this is John Alsop, who is the mastermind behind GovHack in Canberra. We're of course in the awesome room 101 of the Computing Science and IT building at ANU. There's lots of memories for lots of people in this particular room. Now, you've obviously had a pretty sleepless night, but how do you think GovHack is going? This is the first time it's occurred in this country. You must be pretty proud of the buzz that's going on. And
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess the original kind of brief was, look, if we got 50 plus people, it would be fantastic, short term, just, pretty modest outcomes, I guess, in terms of the, Government 2.0 task force and a GMO and so on. So we were pleasantly surprised with the amount of interest. I mean, we had 200 plus people register. We had to basically turn people away. We've basically had a ton of media interest, the Australian and the Age and the Herald and radio interviews and so on. So the interest both within the community and outside the community has been fantastic. And then to see the people up there all last night, we had about 20 odd folks last all night, the quality of what people are doing is amazing. Starting from zero, literally no one probably started with more than an idea. What they've actually managed to achieve in even, 12 hours or something. Yeah. And by the end of the 24-hour period, I think what people will achieve will be quite extraordinary.
And the outcomes of GovHack, I know you're going to be doing presentations later on this afternoon, but what's the ongoing impact of this event? Do you think there'll be more?
So I'd like to think so. I think, well, in fact, there already are a number planned. So Lonely Planet and GovHack are teaming up for an event like this down in Melbourne next week. And then Mashup Australia, Open Australia and Google are holding an event up in Sydney next weekend. So there's some more events people can already get involved with. I think having run, this is probably the highest profile hack day that we've had in Australia, and people are aware of it from around the world. And having run one, seen how it works, I think others people will be
Thank you very much, everyone. This video is quite a long video. It's 23 minutes long. We don't expect everyone to sit here for the entire length. But we will be sharing this out on our social media, so anyone that would like to go and relive 10 years ago, please do take the time to do so. Thank you very much, everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, poor Bob is constantly being asked to patch networks and provide more bandwidth, and does it always with a smile, and a lucky good thing. So.
John, can I say congratulations for what you've been able to achieve with GovHack. We've had a great time talking to different participants from Melbourne, from Adelaide, from all over the place who come here because they're so enthusiastic and excited about the opportunity we've afforded. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing the wonderful outcome.
You bet.
So we're here at GovHack. It's about nearly 9 o'clock in the morning. This is Rob, and he's been here pretty much all night long. And he's going to tell us what he's been working on.
So we've been processing the government data. Yesterday took a script that walks through the catalogue of the data and makes the JSON representations of a structured data set of that, so machines can walk that data set more easily. And then been working with some of the other people to take the visualise the structure of government, different agencies.
So how many are there? How many agencies are there?
Over 7,500. I think it's from starting around the 1990s.
That's amazing. So what do you hope to come up with by the end of the day?
Some different visualisations so we can see how that structure's changed over time and see what the real structure is. I think it'll be interesting to actually just be able to visualise government.
Yeah, I think everyone has a sort of conceptual view of government through their experience with government, but I don't know if anyone's actually seen the whole picture. So I look forward to seeing that.
Working on the big picture.
Yeah, that's great, Ross. Thanks very much. Okay, Adam, we're here at GovHack in the morning. Have you had a long night?
It's been a very long night. So far, it's a night that started at 8 a.m. yesterday. So we're up to about 24 hours, and there's about another 10 to go.
And how much coffee have you had?
Not much, but many, many other things are happening.
Excellent.
So it's been a reasonably good night so far.
So what have you been working on?
At the moment, we're trying to solve all of government. So we're trying to take all the parts of the data that government aren't allowed to mix with other parts of government, and then combine them all together. So take wherever you happen to be standing in the country and find out every member of parliament that represents you at every level of government.
Right, so local government,
Local, wards,
federal.
state, all the states, all the local governments, all in
House
one
of Reps
place.
and Senate?
Yes, yes. So all 5 to 6 houses depending on which state you're in.
And no one can do that yet, can they?
I think the problem is they're constitutionally separated. You know, the state government land departments and the different, electoral commissions aren't allowed to work together. So a lot of what we've been doing is trying to find places where the government is not allowed to solve it and business has no interest in solving it. So it's up to people outside the government to solve it.
So that's where Adam steps in and does the mash up and solves that problem.
It's a little more than a mashup, this one, but we've been working on this for a little while. But at the moment, it's turning into a mashup. It'll be a piece of infrastructure that all the other mashups can pull in. So you can take a street address or where you happen to be standing of an iPhone or anything like that, and turn it into a mapping to everything else. So who you need to complain to, where you need to find the cops, who's responsible for the road in front of you, and solve that across.
So what sort of information, how much detailed information would I need to be able to access from a federal government service in my area?
Well, if we know you're in a federal government sort of broken up by electorate, then not much help. We can take a suburb name, street address, postcode, anything that says where you are,
So
and then
it's
just
not
work
about
out.
exchanging personal information, it's really
No,
based on the
absolutely not.
location.
It's based on the location. It's not based on personal information. And to work out everything the government does in your area where you are, or where you're hunting for a house, so you can work out which
How
school
convenient
each
it is.
house is going to be, where the bus stops are, all that kind of stuff.
And did you think the government would ever sponsor an event like this, GovHack?
There's swirlings of it around the world. The level of aggression is unacceptable. I think there's definitely a level of sort of pace that we wouldn't have expected.
People really want to get into this.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's certainly a focus this year on pushing this forward and getting it as far as we can, and then seeing what emerges.
Well, congratulations on your participation. Really look forward to the outcome. Jeffrey, what have you been working on here at GovHack?
MyRepresentatives.org.
Oh, so I'm a senator. What does that mean for me?
Hopefully more people will be able to find out who you are.
Oh, can I say thank you in advance? So tell me how you're doing that.
We're trying to combine, we are combining electoral data with geodata and the GIS information that's provided by various government agencies using geocoding services, so you can put in a street address and find out who your representatives are at every level of government in the country. So along the whole stack, all 3 levels, find out where you live, what divisions you're in, and who your representatives are.
And do you put the politicians' phone numbers in there as well? So give them a call?
We could. Yeah. It's just a matter of collecting all the data and putting it together. There aren't actually easy repositories of lists of politicians and their contact details around.
Yeah, no, I know, because a lot of politicians have their own website where you just get the official page in their respective parliament that hosts that information. So you probably have to roll around and gather it up.
And it seems that a lot of politicians also have multiple sets of contact details between their electoral office, parliamentary office, various ministerial offices, and what have you. So there might be 5, 6 different places you're supposed to contact them.
Right. Right, I hadn't thought about that, but you're absolutely right. I've got an electorate office, and and I've got a Parliament House office, and we have both of those sets of information. Hopefully everywhere, but probably in some places just one. And
yeah. I think we've got a couple of ministries as well, and they're in a large electorate, so they'll have a couple of electoral offices. Yeah, it's hard to sometimes figure out where to go.
No wonder people find it tough.
Yes.
Well, hopefully you'll solve a few problems and put constituents in close touch with their politicians. That's got to be a good thing.
Hopefully, we'll at least get the information out there and make it available for other services to use as well. So.
Well, thank you for that, and I hope you've had a good night, not too tired.
Past tired now.
into the zone.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's fantastic you're able to participate in GovHack. It's the first time it's happened. What do you think of that?
More I feel fortunate to live in a country where I can do these things. I'm just some guy, and I'm able to engage in government information and speak directly with a senator and what have you. There aren't a lot of places in the world where that sort of thing happens. So, I feel remarkably fortunate every day to be in this country.
Well, and you're making a contribution to our democracy in a very active way. So for that, thank you, and have a great day at GovHack.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Simon and Eric. They're both from News Limited, and they've been working on some really interesting stuff, looking at trends in social demographics. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah, we're looking at some kind of the data you can get around your local area or your postcode, so you can kind of go, I live in your suburb, what can I find out about it?
Yeah, a lot of it's about, there's a whole bunch of data available that you just wouldn't know existed, and a lot of it's interesting in deciding where you want to live based on what it's actually like, and it's also really interesting just to compare. It sort of gives you a sense of what the average is in a suburb. That's not always obvious when you're living in.
And you mentioned before you're able to look at trends in different suburbs, what's happening, what's going up, what's coming down, and how that can inform people's decision making, say if they're moving into an area.
Well, it's great. Like, data has a historical element, and you can then plot that against whatever metric it is, and suddenly you can start realising that, oh, hang on, car thefts going up in my suburb, but other things going down, or there's more pollution, something like that, depending on the data, which kind of helps you go to your local government and say, hey, what are you doing about this?
And it's probably a really good tool for decision makers to use when they're looking at investments in the suburbs, where they put community resources, perhaps community infrastructure. Could it be used in that way?
Definitely, yeah. There's just such a broad scope of information available that you can really dive into and get a sense of what's happening with everything from crime to education to pollution levels.
And you guys are from News Limited, so that's just a coincidence, or is there, do you think journalists will be able to tap into this information as well and use it to get those facts to back up a story, that kind of stuff?
Potentially, I guess you like a lot of journalists are always looking at the ABS data and trying to pull out the data they want. Maybe they can look at something like this and say, hey, there is this kind of data available. Maybe I can go get the raw data itself and get that kind of stuff.
So it just makes the data more accessible for journalists researching the story and looking at the history of an area. Yeah, well, that's got to be a good thing. So thanks very much for talking to me, and thanks for your contribution here at GovHack. Well, Doris, you've had a long night here at GovHack. What have you been working on? Well, we've been working on meshing up the lobbying database with the Oz tender database to see if there's any relationships between the suppliers that actually win tenders and government agencies, various government agencies, and then lobbying companies. And so we are going to visualise those relationships and figure out who's better positioned. So that's the idea, to at one point figure out who's better positioned to probably win a bid in the future. So all we did right now was getting all the data together, getting it in one database, and then build some little bit of an interface with a visualizer and information boxes. Well, it's certainly been an interesting relationship, but to be able to put it together in a visualised way will make it usable and understandable by just about everyone. Probably at 2, but all the guys in my team, actually, the hardcore hackers, they've been working through all night. And I felt bad coming back in the morning, like, I had some hours of sleep. Yeah. And you live in Melbourne, so you've come up especially for GovHack in Canberra? Yeah, exactly. I just thought it's such a fantastic event, and a friend of mine, she told me about it, and it was just announced 2 weeks ago. And so I looked at it and booked the flight, and well, it's part of a bigger thing, Mash Up Australia, through the Gov 2.0 task force. So we're really pleased that you took the time to come up to participate, and really appreciate the work you're doing. It's great. Well, we're still at GovHack. This is John from Census. He's been hacking away all night long, John?
Not quite. I had a couple of hours off.
Oh, well, you... So that's why you look so fresh and sprightly this morning. Yeah. So tell us what you've been working on.
So what we've been trying to do is build community pages of a suburb and plot out why a community is good, basically what things there are which are important. So why would you buy into that area? Why would you live in that area? What are you missing out from there?
So if I've got kids, would that help me determine if it's the right kind of suburb for, say, kids between the age of 5 and 8?
Yeah. So we're trying this thing of getting different demographics. So there are places that would have more cafes, more pubs, that type of thing.
Good for parents, good for families.
Yeah, and then there are the other areas that have no pubs whatsoever, lots of restaurants, lots of nightclubs, and that type of thing.
Or the older parties.
Yeah, all the ones that haven't quite got to the age of family.
Yeah. And how important is using geocodes and geospatial data for the work Census is doing at the moment?
Well, the whole world is going mad.
Yeah. Right.
So everything has to be geocoded, and you'll find that lots and lots of the sites now just the maps become much more prominent, and as soon as you want to do things with inside locations, you really need to geocode because you have to get
And the release of geospatial information from government, what's that looking like at the moment? Can you get what you need?
in certain stuff, in certain parts.
Right.
But not
We could do better.
Definitely.
We'll take that message away. Thanks very much for your time this morning, John, and thanks for participating in GovHack.
Thank you.
Well, we're still at GovHack. It's now just after 10 a.m. in the morning. I'm here with Brenda, Will and Kat, and they're going to tell us about what they've been slaving over overnight. Maybe Brenda can start.
Well, we've taken the data from the archives. They have a table of agency data which describes the agency that created each of the documents that the archives store. So they, of course, have lots of documents in storage, and we've found that there's about 7,000, just over 7,000 agencies over time.
7,000?
God. Yeah, because it's spread, I forgot the start date. 1901. For a long time.
Federation.
Since Federation.
And there would be agencies that obviously are before that as well.
Yeah, some of the time series start actually before that.
Wow.
And then looking at the end date for each agency, so looking at the one that is current, that comes down to about 2,500 agencies now, which is still a bit scary when they're meant to be just federal agencies. There's two of it, but each of those agencies is a separate record-keeping place, so it might be the Department of Defence in Benalla,
right,
or something like that. So that's why there's so many. And there's about 212 functions defined. So that would be different activities. Can't remember any examples of those.
Do you want to describe those activities? The original purpose of the idea was to get a sense of what it is that the government does, so that we can think about where as citizens we want to intervene in the Gov2 world. So in order to do that, you need to know, well, what is it that the government does, and function, and people, and that they want to know more, and the more they know, I think the more confidence they can have in government. I hope.
And that's what I think is so important about this whole GovHack event and having the government data more openly accessible, is it lets people transform that data into the view that interests them at the time, at the moment. And so it ends up being a lot of the people doing that will tend to do it in an open way, so they'll make it accessible to other people. So you gradually build over time these totally different new ways of looking at all the information and joining it together in new exciting ways.
Well, I love the visualisation that's being achieved with the data. I think you really do have to be an expert to be able to read tables and compare it. But what's happening today, starting to get a sense of it, is that it's going to democratise all that data and make it really meaningful for people in a way that you can look at it and understand what it's telling you.
I think one of the key things that Kat was talking about the other day is very much that we have great sets of data here that we can start to make more transparent, make more open, and that's a really awesome thing. But there's also a huge amount of cultural knowledge inside the totality of the government that normal citizens just don't have a great grasp of, and if we can make that transparent as well, that's a really great democratic thing.
And look, if you're going to achieve that, I think GovHack has achieved all its outcomes. Can I thank you all for participating? Yeah. It's a really exciting time, and you've put in hours and hours of work, and we look forward to seeing the outcome. Thanks.
Cheers.
And I'm just here also interviewing Lisa, who's on the Gov2 task force, and Ruth, who was one of the judges from GovHack today, just to get their thoughts on the day. So, how'd it go?
Well, I thought the day, well, the kind of 2 days, was fantastic, honestly. Just to see so many people working together, collaborating, working through the night, using all sorts of different tools and different data sets. The diversity of the outcomes was really impressive. The kinds of ways that people use the data, the way that they put different things together, use different tools. It was incredible the way that the different kinds of things that came out. So you've got things like the lobbyist one, which was the one that won, and that was really impressive in terms of its visualisation and also the idea behind it. And you've got other ones like the Know Your Suburb one, which really was designed beautifully and really had that great visual impact. Although the idea was not necessarily so new, but it used some really interesting data sources and presented it in a really fascinating way. So,
what I liked was it was really innovative, inspiring people to come together and do such great things with it. So that as Australians we can do really good stuff. We can lead the way in some of these areas of using data. We'd like to see a lot more data sets being open for next one, fingers crossed. And yeah, my personal favourites were the lobby one as well. It really shows and will enable transparency of government data and show what we can do with it. So that's really, really interesting. Particularly like the post code one as well. Beautiful visualizations, and also some of the visualizations around the government departments, by Brenda and Kat. It's just lovely, the visualization showing how government's connected and enables a lot more usage of what's on track. So well done to everybody, and I would love to see what happens next.
and I think that's a really exciting part of it, is that this is the first one, and the innovation that's come out of this is so exciting. The potential is enormous, and you can look at all of those ideas and you say, I can see where this can go next, and if they had the access to this data set, wouldn't that be even better? And oh my gosh, that technology might be really new and a little bit raw. When it gets a bit more robust, it would be fantastic, and there's just so many opportunities in the technology, in the data, in the social change applications that you can make. So really exciting.
Cool. Okay, well thank you all. Thank you both very much, and I look forward to the next one too.